So I want to show you that formula again because it was real quick in the last video, and I'm going to teach you a song. It's my favorite. Okay, so first of all, these little 2 and 1 and little 2 and 1, they do not mean squared. They're not exponents. Notice how they're below the number. This is called subscript. You might have seen that on a Word document or a Google Doc. Subscript just means a little tiny number below where the big letter is. So x sub 2, or we call it x2, and x1. All that means is that there's 2 x's. So this is the second x, and this is the first x. It really doesn't matter which one you call x2 or which one you call x1. Subtract them so they're nice. You get to pick. It does not matter. Just like if we had 2 people with the exact same name in one class period, like we had 2 Brians for a while in one class period, I could call them by their first and last name, or I could just say Brian number 1 and Brian number 2, and it doesn't matter which one's 1 and which one's 2. It just helps us distinguish between the 2 Brians. So we have 2 x's, so we say the second x minus the first x. Who cares which one's which? It does not matter. Same thing with the y's. This means the second y and the first y, because you have 2 y values. Doesn't matter which one it is, just subtract them. You're going to square them, add them, and square root them. This formula, I'm going to show you how to write it out with the whole formula. We're going to sing a song, but then I'm going to show you how to do part of it in your head and then part of it on the paper. And I think it might be easier for you if you do it that way rather than plugging it in, just because that part of your brain, that abstract part of your brain, is still really new. It's baby brain. So if you're struggling with seeing all of these symbols and it looks so scary, I'm going to show you an easier way to think about the exact same thing. It's not different. It's just a way to think about it that maybe is easier. Okay, here's the song. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Take the square root of it all. That's the distance formula. I'm going to sing it again, and then you're going to be really awkward, and you're going to sing it the next time with me. So one more time by myself, and the next time you're going to sing with me. I know it sounds ridiculous, but trust me, songs help you remember. It's how you know the alphabet. Okay, let's try it. This is just me. If you want to sing along, great. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Take the square root of it all. That's the distance formula. Okay, now you're going to sing it with me. Ready? Let me try it. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Take the square root of it all. That's the distance formula. Okay, so now we're going to try it. And we're going to try it with an example that we did in the notes, and then we'll do the rest of the examples that are in the notes as well. Give me a second. Okay, so here's how we actually can do this. We can label things x1, y1, x2, y2, but I find it easier to write it like this. You take the 2 points they gave you, and you write them on top of each other and do a subtraction problem. When you get your answers, you get 5 and 3. It's tempting to put a comma between them, but it's not a point. This is finding the sides of the triangle. So one side is 5, the other side is 3, and we're trying to find the distance like that. So that's how we subtract them to find it. That's the subtracting part. We subtracted the x's, we subtracted the y's. So now here comes the formula part. Instead of doing the subtraction in the formula, we did it off to the side. That gives us fewer numbers to fit inside our formula. So we do 5 squared plus 3 squared. We back up. x2 minus x1. These are our x's. We subtracted them. We got 5. These are our y's. y2 minus y1. We subtracted them and got 3. We squared them, added them, and square rooted them to get the distance, or that hypotenuse. So this is kind of my way of visualizing it. Instead of plugging everything in here like 6 minus 1 quantity squared plus 5 minus 2 quantity, and getting it all confusing, just do the subtraction off to the side and then put your results here. If we finish this up, we get 25 plus 9, which is the square root of 34. You're going to plug that into a calculator, get an approximation, and round to the nearest tenth. So approximately, I don't have my calculator out, so I figured that out. Give me a sec. So I rounded, I get 5.8. Okay, now I'm going to do example 1 in the next video.